Welcome to the weekly offload, guys. So we've got with us Kat. How are you, Kat?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. We were just saying before the podcast, so you were asking me, do people get nervous on here? And I said, I'd say 99% of people do get nervous like before they start. And I think they get very, I think I was saying to you, you'll end up zoning into the podcast and we'll have a bit of fun. Obviously,
Okay, good.
I was going to say to people, because sometimes I'm not amazing at introducing the guests because I think they know you, but obviously we worked together at one playground in Marrickville. And then, so what's sort of happened with your life since then? Because a lot's gone on, hasn't it?
Yeah, a lot. So I left. When did I leave? In January 2024. And I moved to Bali. I moved my business online. Since then I just it's been 2 years already that I'm doing the online thing. Just like traveling around, and it's been good.
Because when you first started, were you a bit, I think I've asked this question to previous guests, but when you saw like the lifestyle in Bali, were you a little bit not cautious, but did you think, oh, maybe it's not what it's cracked up to be, or has it met your expectations?
I think it has. I really enjoy Balinese lifestyle. But I think it's also a bit triggering to live there for me. We're gonna talk about body image and body positivity and stuff like that. And I think in Bali was the most triggering time around that for me, because you've been there and you probably notice everyone looks so perfect, everyone taking care of their bodies, and then because you so much in that environment, you feel you need to be like that as well, or look a certain way, so it's been a bit harder.
Which is quite interesting because I'm sure my wife wouldn't mind me sharing on the podcast. She sort of said, I could imagine Kat would be a good trainer for people because the way you look and things like that, I'd say people wouldn't think you'd have insecurities, and that's she's giving you a compliment. But because you can relate to I don't want to say less, I'm not saying less attractive, but you can relate to different women we sort of did chat about this, Polly and I, but you can relate to different women and they can see that someone like yourself has insecurities too.
Yeah. And I think it's not at all about how you look, because I looked so different in my life, and I don't I think every time I was feeling so insecure until now I feel so much better in my body, but it's nothing to do with how I look actually, so I think
Because would you say, are you sort of saying, because I know a lot of people do say this about competing, they might look their best, but they feel horrible.
Oh yeah. I felt really horrible, and every morning I was waking up and checking my body everywhere. Honestly, I would spend I don't know, 30 minutes in front of the mirror, and I'd be and I would say to myself I'm fat, I didn't I had body dysmorphia as well at that time, and it's nothing to do with how you look. It's it's how you think about yourself and what you do for yourself. That's for sure.
Because do you think I don't know, I'm not sure if I asked someone on this podcast, but it is interesting to me. I probably think I look better than I actually do, so it's the opposite. But on a serious note,
that's amazing.
that's how I got Polly. But any women in my life, she's when she saw me as a 16-year-old, she's like, "How did you actually chat?" And I was just personality.
Yeah.
But back to you, and I do obviously we're gonna joke too because you and I have been friends for a long time, but do you think it was a serious question? Is it the control? Is it because sometimes you feel other things in your life aren't in control, and that's something you can control? Is that one of the things, or?
I think for me it was a lot about external validation. I think this is something I could never give to myself, validate myself. So I thought if I am a certain way or if I look a certain way, then people gonna like me and I'm gonna belong, And what happened when I arrived here in Australia for the first time was in 2018. This is where I started like to become like really really skinny, like very close to anorexia. And I remember like I was going to Fitness First at that time, and like every time I was going there, people would like tell me, "Oh, you look so lean," and like which is like completely like objective statement, but I would like think that it's such a good thing, and so I need to like keep being lean and like like look a certain way so people like I don't know notice me or like So it was more like that for me.
Is that like, because I do want to stay on this track, but do you think like that's a little bit, because we chatted about like your childhood. Obviously, you grew up in France, but then you're from the Ukraine. Like, is that a little bit, because a lot of my friends that have a different background, but I would consider Australian, they say they do struggle with that identity. Is that a link to it, would you say?
I think so. Like, I mean, I've been reflecting on my life like for the last, especially 2 years a lot. And I think moving from Ukraine to France, I was 7, so like, you come like in a new cultural environment. Like, I didn't speak the language at that time. Like, so many new things, and I think I never felt like I belonged like anywhere until like, I would say until like I'm 18. Like, I started to feel good like when I was like 18, 19. But until then, I was just like kind of like, who am I? Like, yeah. So
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, obviously, I hate immigrants. Like, that's I'm completely the opposite. But it's so funny that, like, obviously, the chat with immigration and like idiots in Australia at the moment, when it's so hard, like, to change countries. And even though I sort of did it in England, even though that's really my country, but I saw like, and I speak the language, and I was like, God, for people who like talk shit about immigrants or like think it's not a hard struggle, especially when you don't know the language, I think that's insane. But so that struggle, you think, sort of did shape a little bit of you not feeling, or you felt out of place there?
Yeah, and especially I think when you move to another country as a kid, and like you don't have your personality yet. I mean, like you like it's already hard. Like like you're a kid or like you're a teenager to build yourself, to know who you are. But when you have like this big change in your life, it's like definitely make it worse. And at that age, like when you arrive to a country and you're 7, like kids around you are not nice to you. You know what I mean? Like,
so you did get a little bit of bullying.
Yeah.
It's from like just because you were from the Ukraine, or like was it
just because I was
accent?
Different? Like it's not even like they didn't bully me because I'm from Ukraine or because like this and that. It was just like because someone different arriving and like they don't speak the language. So like they're making fun of me because I don't speak the language, for example. Like things like that.
Yeah, that would be.
So like for my whole life, I wanted like to not be different. Like that was my goal, Like, and funny thing. Like I don't know if I told you that, but so my name is like Katerina, like the Ukrainian name. And as soon as I got like the French passport, I got the opportunity to change my name, and I made it Catherine just to like make sure I'm not different, because Katerina sounds so Ukrainian.
See, there you go.
It's like.
It's tough. Like my friend, childhood friend Adam, he told a story. He's Uruguayan, and he told a story that he went to preschool like here, and he could speak like both languages. And then I think he answered in Spanish or something like that. And then a kid made fun of him, and he went home and he said to his mum, which is quite sad. He goes, "I don't want to like learn the language anymore. I want to be normal, quote unquote." And now he doesn't. He goes, now as an adult, like I feel quite like sad because he can understand. He goes, I can understand like a bit, but I was like fluent in 2 languages, which should be a badge of honor. Like I can barely speak English, so it should be a badge of honor to like be educated or have that dual like language. But and is that how you felt? You just wanted to be like quote unquote normal?
Yeah, I just wanted to be like any other kid, like and like the other thing is like I'm born on Christmas Day, right? It's like 25th of December, and like the first year we're arriving to France, so I'm Orthodox, so Christmas is not on the same day. Christmas is on the 6th of January for Orthodox. And my parents wanted like to make a party for my birthday, and they invite like all the people from my school on the 25th of December, and no one came because it's fucking Christmas.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
I feel so bad because I know you sent us the invite now, and even I was like, I think I even sent the comment. Could you put on
I
Boxing
think
Day?
it's a trauma.
So you saw my comment and you're like, oh my God. I just imagine you walking around like going, oh, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah, all of those things I think made me like want so much like external validation. Like, and yeah, I brought this thing like with me until recently, like, yeah.
And then going back, as I said, whatever you're comfortable with, like on the podcast, I always tell people that.
Yeah.
But like going back to sort of when you were going through like the eating disorder, did anyone know close to you, or you kind of kept it like hidden, would you say?
I think people were a bit worried about me because like I was like 20 kilos lighter than now, like, and I was like only getting smaller and smaller, so like people would be a bit worried, especially like my parents, my mom. But I didn't think I have a problem, so like why would I even like talk about that? Like for me it was so normal, like for me like I was like, I'm so healthy, like people don't understand, like like it's so good to go to the gym all the time and to eat like nothing, like, yeah. So for me it was so normal, and I don't think that anyone ever talked to me about that, or like even if like they try to, like my mom would tell me things like, oh, don't you think it's a bit too much? Like she was trying to be like a bit soft, but I would get like angry. I was like, what do you mean? You don't understand. And that's it.
It's a bit tricky too, because I had a close friend, I don't know, won't say their name just in case, but I had a close friend that they would like seeing a therapist, and they sort of like female, and the therapist said, I think you have an eating disorder, but her response was like, no, everyone, like, because she's in the fitness industry, she's like, everyone counts calories and things like that. And then later on, I know she did have, we're not close anymore, but I did have a bit of issues and things like that. So it's tricky because I do want to talk about like how good I like your social media at the moment, but it's a bit of a hard line, isn't it? With the like, are you still tracking? Do you still track food and things like that now?
Sometimes, but more just to see where I am at. But like I would not like restrict myself, like it's just like out of curiosity, like, oh, how many calories do I eat a day? Like it's not obsessive anymore, and yeah, like.
Yeah, because it's hard, because like sometimes when I speak with clients about it, I do say like my friend Darko, when I gave him my fitness pal, he actually found it better because he would say if I didn't know how much calories, instead of having the one chocolate, I would eat the whole thing.
Exactly.
And then the next day, it's like a Tuesday night, he'd say. So the next day he's like, I stuffed up yesterday, so today I'll eat whatever. And then it would turn into like, oh, I've stuffed up the week, so then I'll start on Monday. Whereas when he was on my fitness pal, he said I would have like the chocolate, but then I'd be like, oh, I'm actually like under. But then that's tricky, because if you're quite like an obsessive person, or like you said, you're getting the external validation, it might be a bit of a hard balance, because then people don't know. It's kind of like me with the gambling apps. With apps, people don't really know what you're doing. Like it's your own thing. So yeah.
But like, for example, with my clients, I really use like my fitness pal as a tool so they can learn what they eat, because like so many people come to me and they're like, oh, I eat healthy, and like, what do you mean? Like, and for them, it's just like a way to understand and to learn about nutrition. But like, I'm being very, very careful. Like I'm always like asking them, like, are you fine? Like, like, I need to know that they're okay tracking, like not being too restrictive. Like if they go out, they don't have to track. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it's a very fine line. Like, and you don't realize yourself like when it goes the other way. Like,
yeah, because I think I said to you, I did hear a podcast of, I'll just get her name up just so I don't remember. I do want to say, normally I'm not into putting shit on other podcasts, but God, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. And this might lead into, I told you this will go all different directions, but this might also lead into my next question. I haven't even asked any of them yet, but on the podcast, it's 3 women. And I said to Polly this morning, I was like, oh God, I just find it hard to be a woman because like, guys are a lot more like frank or to the point, but even this podcast, there was no like depth about it. It was all like, you had a bit of an eating disorder, but but that post you made, babe, and your new clothing line. And I don't want to sound sexist or anything like that because I do like female podcasters and things like that, but just that. The 3 women, I was just like, say something real, like about yourself. And I know that can be hard to do, but it's like what you've already done, opened up on the pod. So like, is that like what? Also, I wanted to join this into the whole question. Like, what is it like to be a woman? Tell me.
Okay. That's a very like deep question. But like, I think today I feel great being a woman. I'm super happy where I am at now. But like, if you ask me that question like a few years ago, the response might be like different. But like, it's not easy to be a woman, definitely. Like, especially just like if you look at the hormonal cycle, like we keep changing, like every month, like, something is happening, like from 1 week to another one, like you feel a different way, then like you look a different way. And I think we don't learn about our bodies enough as well, so we don't actually understand what is going on, like why 1 week I feel so good and then like I'm depressed like the week after, so I think
Polly says it's living with me.
Yeah, probably.
No. Go on.
So I think like the day you actually, because I find like women bodies amazing, like it's fascinating, and like once you start to understand yourself better and like how your body works, like it starts to work like not against you but like with you. And it's also like not about like feeling great like every day. It's just like, of course, like you're gonna feel better on some days and like worse on other days, and it's just like about accepting it and knowing that like this is temporary and it's fine, and like being like more kind to yourself, because we are also expected like to feel a certain way like all the time. But no, like like just with the hormones it's impossible. So like being like more kind to yourself.
Because I think like my client, I want to stay on more the body positivity rather than danger and things like that.
Yeah.
But my client even said last week, she was like, oh yeah, remember I went to Korea for like a week, and I was like, oh okay. And then I was sort of like, did you go on your own? And she's like, no, like hell no, I wouldn't do that. And that's like a different sort of kettle of fish that what we're going to talk about today. But there's so many more considerations I think you guys have to make than say like us, even through travel. Like I said to her, I went to the hostel on my own and blah, blah, blah. And I know I meant, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but there's a lot more things. But we'll stay on the sort of body side of things today. Even like, let's say sporting stars like that are larger. Like I saw a rugby player, an American rugby player, and she was saying like she gets a lot of hate and things like online about her body, but she was like, my body is exactly what it's used for.
Yeah,
She's,
exactly.
I know you're not it's too much into sport, but she's a big, like she's a forward. So in rugby, she's used to like do the rucks and mauls and things like that. So she's used to push forward, but she's like, my body has a specific purpose, but people still like online will judge me or things like that. Do you find there is more judgment, and you can be honest, more judgment with women than to men?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. And like actually the other day I was talking with my housemate, and she's trying to lose weight at the moment. And then like she was showing me this girl that she follows on Instagram, and she's like, oh, but look at her, like she looks so good. Like why like her stomach is so flat, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is just posing. You understand that? Like it's the clothes that you wear, it's like how you how you pose, and it doesn't reflect reality. And she didn't want to believe me. And then next day I actually like took some picture of me for her, Like, and I put like I took some pictures where I pose and then unpose one and like see how easy it is. So I think it's a lot of like also like social media, like that's what we see, like perfect bodies, but it's not realistic. And then like we have this idea that we need to look that way, but like no one's looked that way like all the time. So yeah, I think it's hard for women.
Yeah, it is a tricky balance because the podcast that I was listening to, so it was a woman called Riley J.
Yeah.
So she was on the podcast. She's got like a massive following. So obviously like she's found her market and things like that. And she was saying it's, I think I've said on the podcast, like as a trainer as well, maybe you feel the same. It is a bit of a balance in a certain sense because if I'm completely honest, she's quite large. Like she's quite big. So I don't want to say if someone has a health condition or anything like that. But I think when Brigitte came on, it maybe didn't come out exactly what she wanted to say, but she was sort of saying that she's not against someone in the gym who's big and work on it. She's more against someone who says, it's impossible. Like, I can't lose weight, so I won't try, even for like the way you feel. But I don't know, it didn't exactly come out like that. But that's what she sort of meant. So I'm a bit 50-50 because I'll be honest, even when I looked at, like I heard her voice on the podcast and I agreed with some of the things she said. And then even like me visually when I saw her Instagram, like the first thought, I'm honest on this podcast, was like she's big. Like she's quite big. So it's a hard one because I know what people are saying with you don't want to promote obesity too, but then you want to be sort of your body can always be a progression or it can always get better, but then you want to be happy in your body. How do you relay that to clients? Like, what's your technique?
I think I'm trying to take away my clients' goals from like being purely appearance, like how they look. I mean, like most of the women who come to me, they're like, oh, I want to lose like 5-10 kilos. I want to look a certain way, blah, blah, blah. But then like as soon as they start that journey, like, just like taking care of yourself, like moving your body, like eating better, they like step away from that goal of like just look a certain way, and because they start to feel so good, they start to feel healthy. So yeah, I think like when you start like that journey, you're gonna obviously change like your body shape, like you're gonna look different, but it should not be your main focus. Like you should not be fixating on like I wanna lose like around my tummy or like this and that. Like it should be just like I wanna feel better, like I wanna feel more healthy, Yeah.
And then for yourself, we're not going to mention anything specific, but in terms of like relationships, do you think like that did affect your relationships with men as well?
Like definitely. Yep.
I was expecting like a quite like that's funny, like a quite like different answer. Like I thought you might stay diplomatic and be like, no, I actually think blah blah. And then it's like, no, definitely, okay, yeah.
No. I mean, like in the past when I was like feeling so insecure about my body, blah blah, like in all of my relationships, I would need my partner to tell me every day that I look good, like that. And that was like, I'm realizing now how hard it is for your partner. I would be like always asking him like, am I fat? No, like it's like it was hard. But like now that I commit to myself, I commit to that journey, like I feel good myself in my body. I don't need like to constantly seek for that validation, so I think it changed in a way that's I'm just like have more confidence, and so probably attract better partners.
Yeah, 100%. And then did you find like is that still good?
What is it? Turn off notification. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I can get Chris to edit that bit. It's still, you can still see yourself and everything.
Yeah,
All right, cool. So yeah, and then the dating scene in Bali, like I've heard like that can be tricky because everyone's a bit transient. Like, do you find is there any dating going on there? Would you say?
Yeah, dating life in Bali is like a bit chaotic, but I don't think it's because people are moving around. Like for me, for example, like so today I feel ready like to meet someone like my life partner, and it doesn't matter like if because I can travel, like I can work from anywhere. So it's not because like if I meet someone in Bali, then we can just travel together. I can move like somewhere for someone, which I did in the past already, so it's not a problem. But I think like people are just there is like I feel like there are so many options in Bali, so no one is just wanna like commit to someone and like, oh, I want to know you, to get to know that person, because they're like always like, oh, there is someone like better, blah blah blah, like, and no one is just like committing to that. So
Because
I think like
when you're back in France as well, were you like how did you view, I guess, France this time around? Because obviously you lived in Australia, you'd been away for a fair while, and you did stay there for 6 months, was it, or a few
6
months?
months.
Yeah, 6 months. I think I saw your post saying I was meant to stay for a month, and then you end up. Yeah, how did you view? Like, how did that change your view of France? Like, because you've been around now, and then you've not literally, but been around a few countries, and you've come back. Like, did that change your view of even the life there?
Yeah, actually, that's the first year where I really, really enjoyed France. I was like, oh, this is a nice country to live in, like, but I think it's just
Oh,
like,
so you didn't feel like that growing up?
no, I like, honestly, I hated France. Like growing up, I was like, all I wanted is like to come back to holiday in Ukraine because like, like seeing my extended family, blah, blah. And then like growing up, I mean, like then working in France, like everything was so stressful. Like I felt that people were like always like angry and like not nice. And when I arrived to Australia, I was like, wow, this is paradise because everyone is like smiling. Everyone like is so relaxed, taking care of themselves, like, So for a long time, I didn't like France.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to clip that up and put it on. Imagine a pro, like, what do you call it? Like a pro France website. And we're like, I hate it. I didn't like France. I was trying, I've been trying everything in me not to make fun of your accent too, because obviously at the start of the pod, you say being different. And then I'm like, I'm probably adding to that. But
no.
When you said birthday, when you said my birthday, I was like, oh, God, I really want to make a joke right now. But you're opening up, so I was like, fair.
No,
oh, okay.
Like,
So
I mean, I know you're not, like, it's not coming from a bad place. And I know you, like,
Yeah, that's what I always say on this pod. Like, if your cat's friends and family listening, like, I want to know.
They don't speak English. It's fine.
there, you're doing it. They're like, oh, good. Imagine they listen to the whole hour. They're so like, good podcast.
Because it's so funny. Like my mom, she doesn't speak English, but she obviously wants to support my my Instagram, and like everything is in English. And every time she reacts to my story, and like she has no idea like what I write. But
I love I love that because we like I discussed on couple episodes ago with Noor that like I find sometimes people. I don't know. I'd say people have been pretty supportive, like of the pod. I gotta say that. Like, you don't want to be like keep on the negative, but you do sort of find there are some times where I'm kind of like, say there's a like trainer, for example, and I like their things, and I know I've got you on the podcast to talk about women and body positivity, but sometimes I might like your thing about training with a menstrual cycle, but it's not really, I'm not your target audience. Like, I'm not like, fuck yeah, menstrual cycle. Like, I love this. So, but I just like it because they're my friend, but then it's hard. You don't want to. It's not even because I expect something back, but then you're kind of like, oh, you could just give me a sneaky like, or and I know you don't want to be too, what's the word, like obsessed with social media or something, but it's more about like supporting each other online. That I think is kind of nice. But so to hear that your mum actually, because even Eleni is like, I don't she does a lot in.
I also like her sings, but I have no idea what
It's in Italian. It's Italian, yeah. So same thing. I'll just be her expressions might be funny, and I get what she's trying to say, and I'll be like, I like her. She's come on as well, but on the pod. But yeah, so that's nice. Your mum. I didn't actually know that. I don't think. Your dad too.
Yeah, they don't speak English. No. I mean, they speak like Ukrainian, Russian, and French. So it's good enough.
Bloody hell. Okay.
Yeah.
How weird is that then when you go? We're going on a different route, but I told you this would happen on the pod. How weird is that then when you go home? I always find this weird. What language do you think in when you're in France?
Honestly, I'm just thinking in different languages like all the time. Like I might like even one sentence, it can start like in French and then it ends in English in my head. Like
that is freaking weird.
It's so weird.
That is odd.
And some words, like for example, like in the fitness industry, I feel so much more comfortable in English because I studied like fitness here, So I don't know the words in French. So like it just depends like on the topic, I guess, as well. And like I don't know. When I speak with my brother, for example, we always like have a mix between like French and Russian and sometimes English. Like, it's just like I don't know.
And then I didn't actually think to chat about this. And same thing, if you're not okay with it, we can take it out. But like obviously the situation in the Ukraine, I don't understand ignorant, but I'm like not above it at the moment because it hasn't been as like prevalent in the news at the moment. But like, how did that? I remember that affecting you, which makes sense a lot as well. Like, so how did that affect you?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, I was like just like everyone else, like following the news and this and that, and now I just like don't watch it as much anymore. Like I honestly, I know like the war is still going. And I still have family there, so obviously, like I know they're okay, so that's enough for me to be okay. But I'm not gonna like look at the news because it's just gonna make me feel sad and nothing I can do. So I'm kind of like, and I see my parents, they're like every single day, they just like both of them like the whole day, like they're watching news, and I'm like, and then like so they're like so like anxious, like So I'm kind of like, I just don't watch it anymore.
Well, my parents, even here in Australia, like this is what Polly and I always talk about, that Australia is not even that bad. But if you watch the news every night, obviously you're going to see like one stabbing or whatever. Like she finds it funny because when she came to Australia, it's like a dog was missing and they report it. And she's like, what the hell? And people could get stabbed in London and not even it hit the news. So we just don't have as much things. But if you watch that every day, you get like a skewed view of the world as well. It's dangerous. Exactly. Going back to that immigrant thing. If we let more people in, that will mean like it'll be like the rest of the world because you saw like one thing happen in France and
true. I don't know what it was like something might happen in Australia and like in the French news they would show it like as if like something so bad happened and my mom is like, are you okay? And I'm like, what happened? I don't even know what happened. So, like it's crazy.
Well, around like, I know around COVID, and it was quite interesting for me to be like an outsider, but when we were living in London and seeing what was happening in Australia, we thought it was like what would you say? Like a real, like a prison type situation. Yeah. And then when I came back, there's still things 100% I think were over the top. Like I think I personally, I'm not a doctor, I'm not anything like that, but I think Australia went too far, in my opinion, with the restrictions. But I will say, like, then living here was a different perspective. Yeah, like, exactly. I was like, I'm okay. Even talking to Polly's dad, he might be the same. Like, I heard in Australia, especially Melbourne, for example. But he's like, I heard in Australia, blah, blah, blah. And then Polly's like, I'm okay. Like, we're just living and nothing. So, news is... That might be a separate podcast we have to do just about like the media and I guess let's track back then. What do you think of like the media's portrayal of like women and fitness? From my point of view, it looks like it's getting better. Yeah. Do you think like at the moment? But what about like from your point of view, like?
Yeah, I think definitely it gets better. Like more and more women are more like concerned about their health, like more than like looking a certain way. So there is definitely a change. But I don't want to say.
Just say it in Russian or French. Just say it. I'm not putting shit on you if you know bloody hell so many languages, but because that
oh my god,
that spun me out that you said you're thinking all different. But yeah.
No, I think it's definitely better. But like then, like you mentioned, like it can go the other way, where like like it's okay to be unhealthy. It's like it's my genetics and this and that. Like so. Yeah, it's a bit tricky, but definitely I think it gets better. And depends on the country. Like for example, in France, like women still want like to be skinny. That's their goal, Whereas like in Australia, I feel like they're like more like strong women. Like I want to be strong. I want to feel strong. In Bali, for example, it's like really tied to how you look, like So it depends where as well.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because if you watch because Polly and I've mentioned her a lot on this pod just because you know her,
Okay.
but I've been pretty good lately, but I used to be like Polly watch with how much I said it, but we watch like reality shows.
Yep.
So we were watching one from like 2010, I think, and it was in America, but like we looked at like the body types for women. It was quite like then skinny with like fake boobs, to be honest. And then I was like, how come that looks sort of different? And then she's like, because that's not really. It's more about like strong, like would you say? I guess the butt really as well, getting strong and although, like we've said the whole pod, like it can go too far, like the other way. But I think that is a positive. That more strength is the main thing that people talk about for women.
And just to come back to like my own journey on like getting like healed after like being like so skinny, this and that. I think like working at one playground made like a big difference for me because. Like I saw all those like.
Are you just saying that because one playground? If you ever want to jump back here, you're like, oh yes, one playground, so awesome. I've got the gun under the table. I'm like, yeah, just say it's good. Go on.
But no, like so many like strong women and like different shapes as well, and like just made me realize like it's not about your looks. Like yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then I'm gonna go back to like I said, we've gone all different places. But one thing I did ask you, so what about like what's your? I haven't done this segment for a little while, but I don't know. I thought it'd be funny with you for whatever reason. But what's your weekly offload? Like what annoys you? Would you say?
Honestly, like not much annoys me lately. So.
What about in the past?
No, I guess like if we come back like to social media and like everything that all the different things you can see, like what annoys me, like when people pretend there's something that they not are, like pretend like they got like all their shit together and just like don't show like their real self. Like, and I think it impacts like lots of people. Like when you see that for yourself, you're like, oh my God, like I should be like that, or like I should be always feeling fine, or like, yeah.
I got a question for you I just thought of. Yeah. Well, what do you think about, because I'm a bit somewhere on the fence maybe. What do you think about like people obviously filming when they're crying, let's say, for example? Like, because that's a big topic, because I would say... I'm sure I won't say names, but there's certain guys at Marrickville that I would say are very, whenever they see that, they're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But for me, because I'm very big, like with this podcast on mental health and showing like vulnerability, I think it can be good. I personally wouldn't be as black and white. I think it's a situation, because there's that famous one of I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a woman, and she's making a cake for herself. Yeah. And it says like, oh, when you don't have a husband, like you have to make your own wedding cake. She's not getting married. That's the point. Your own birthday cake. But there's a lot of other counter videos that show like setting up the camera and then like starting baking the cake and then going, oh, they didn't make the cake. So I get what they sort of mean, but I think it's within context, because I think if, let's say you were doing it and you're walking...
I actually
you have done it?
I feel myself crying one day.
Yeah, that. But honestly, because
But I don't even know why. Yeah, it was like more thinking about like my social media, like, oh, I'm gonna show like that it's not like all perfect. Like, yeah. But I do understand like that it's might be weird to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, because I actually don't remember your one. But if I
Yeah.
saw you, for example, because your page is quite genuine, and I do want to like talk about that too, like
Yeah.
how good your social media is at the moment. Shout out to Ollie V because he actually maybe approached the subject to me and
Yeah.
said, "Oh, Kat's social media like at the moment it's really good," and I said, "Yeah, I like it as well." But I don't remember your post doing that, but I personally would be like, your posts are so genuine and like you are having good message, like that I wouldn't find it cringeworthy or I wouldn't care. Like I said, people are just so, speaking of social media, so black and white nowadays. Like I hate back to the immigrants thing. I don't like it. I don't want more immigrants. I don't want this. I don't like this, and I don't like gay people. Blah blah blah. There's no like. People are not really finding an in between, which is what's causing a lot of conflict. So I would see certain posts and be like, oh, if I go footy term, like play on, I'd think fair enough. Like they're trying to show their listeners, they're trying to show their followers, like I'm a human being. But
yeah, but also like, I mean, social media now is about like going viral. So you just think like sometimes you think less about like what I want to show, how I want to help people, but it's like more like how can I get viral, like, you know.
Yeah.
So I think
So why don't you start a beef with like another female person? Then you'll get really, because Alfie that I had on a couple episodes ago, he was saying that he could post about his kids and family, but if he has like a beef with someone, he goes, he showed me his phone. He goes, look at this, and I go, do you really like not like the guy? And he's like, not like, he's like, I don't agree with him, but not really. But he goes, when I post that, it just blows up. Where the only problem with that would be if you're quite like a sensitive person or you don't want conflict in your life, that would cause like, but he was like, I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, do you want to start a beef like now or with with any of the trainers, would you say? No, at that one playground that we used to work with, no, nothing like that. No, you got along with everyone. We're very liked and things like that. What about like in Bali now, Kat? So I know because you don't work in a gym, you don't see the gym environment as much, but did you have any thoughts on that compared to Australia?
The gym, like, have you been in the gym in Bali? No, you haven't.
When you got, when you guys go, like when Ash or like whoever it is, like goes, I always see like you're training, you're this and that, and then when we went, because I think Eva had her first birthday there. I didn't go once. I think I got a massage part. I didn't.
Gyms there are amazing. Like it's like how important it is like to have a nice environment to go to. Like, for example, in France, I felt like I don't really want to go to the gym. So you need like to be more disciplined, like push yourself. But in Bali, going to the gym is like, is an experience. Like it's so good. Like they're so beautiful. And then like you have also like the recovery area. So you really feel like it's like I don't know, you're doing something nice for yourself. Like, you know, it feels good. It feels good.
It was more like holistic view.
Yeah,
So I guess one
probably.
playground's going down that route. Where would you say more down that?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, more like
yeah.
how you feel rather than like.
I mean, it depends on the gym. Like again, like I was going to another gym before, and like everyone is just there to show themselves, kind of, you know, and like you go there and you don't feel comfortable at all. And I can't imagine like if you're a beginner going there, you would be just like, you would hate it, you know? So it's like, depends.
Yeah. And then I guess for you, what about like just because I know the lifestyle in Bali is always like, it's, when you look at like a trainer who lives in Bali, even me, like I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, like it seems like a dream, for example. Like you might post you swimming or you doing whatever. But then I think about like, because even with this podcast, I have to do more social media, more things like that. And that affects your mental, like it affects my mental health, I would say.
Being on the phone all the time.
Yeah. How do you switch off, or you feel like that's kind of a hard thing for you?
It's very hard for me. Yeah. I'm always like also like going on Instagram like for work, and then you end up like just spending like so much time there. It's hard. Like, yeah. And also like having my business online, I feel like I never switch off in a way that I'm always like, if a client texts me, like I reply, like, I'm always on my phone doing something. So yeah, I feel like it has affected like a bit of like my mental health, definitely. Like I'm trying to put some boundaries there, but yeah, being on your phone too much, it's yeah, no.
And then what about when you post? Because it's weird because like for me, I would say I'm a person that doesn't care what people think. But with the podcast, I suppose because it's my baby, it's my passion. When I post something, I must admit, I reckon everyone's done it. You think like this is gonna be amazing, and then you post and you're like, no one likes it, and it's like about it after an hour or something, and you look back and you're like, did it post? Like you're sort of, is my internet connection working? But it's just, I don't know. And then other times you could post shit.
Yeah.
Like it could just be you walking along and just be like, whatever, it's me and I'm going to the gym and I don't feel like it all. Any like, I just had a car accident, anything stupid. And it can get, and you'll be like, just shove it on there because I don't have a video and it'll do well. But how do you ever have times like that as well?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, definitely. Like checking the likes, like as soon as you posted something, like, yeah. But like it comes down to like external validation, right? Like it's like I don't know. Yeah. And like there are like lots of funny memes as well, like when you post a story and like you are actually the one who rewatching your stories like 20 times because you're like, oh, that's so good.
You can definitely I'm not going to mention her name again, but you can definitely, someone who I live with, because I mentioned it so much on the podcast, you can definitely say especially if it's a funny reel. But yeah, sometimes even I posted the latest reel for the latest episode and then I was like, was that the right one? You know what I mean? And it did like reasonably well as well, but I was like, should I have done? And obviously in between like clients and things, sometimes I rush it and then I'm like, should I have rushed it out? Which I guess might be like a bit easier for you because that's your main job like at the moment. But you're as a whole, like you're happy with your decision to go online and you feel
definitely. And I feel like I have more like mental space to actually like better help my clients. Like, I mean, when you work in the gym, like you have to wake up like sometimes at 5 a.m. and then like you finish your day, it's like 7 p.m. and like you are so tired and like you actually didn't do anything for yourself. You're just like, here on the gym floor, and then like it's very hard to give when you're in that state. So I feel like now I can give more to my clients, if that makes sense.
Do you feel actually even more, I just thought of this, like more social? Because I think...
Yes.
Yes. Remember Danny Mendoza, who's been on the pod, she talks about this a lot. She found when she went to online, she was like more reaching out to people, hey, do you want to have a coffee? But when she was a PT, she said like she'd go, I think, part of that, I can't remember exactly what she said on the pod, but might have been like people pleasing and things like that. She'd go, but she'd really be like, oh God, like your social battery is like on zero. So is that better too, would you say?
Yeah, definitely as well. And like I am actually introverts, so like I like to,
would be surprising.
Yeah. But like I really need that time to recharge, like to my time with myself. And when you work on the gym floor, like it's impossible. Like as soon as you go back home, you just wanna like. I was living at that time, like I had like 2 housemates, and I didn't want to talk to them. Like I was just like going in my room, and I just want to be alone, And now I feel like I'm so happy when I meet like people, like that I can, definitely.
I was gonna say, oh God, because I nearly said a joke about when you said about the housemates. I was like, did they leave a smelly poo or something? But so I lost my train of thought. But I had a really good question to tie everything in, and we could sort of finish up. That's what it was. So for myself, I've sort of like found recently, which I didn't know, that sometimes this has come through therapy, but I can put a bit of a mask on, like to. Which is interesting because I'd say I'm quite like vulnerable, but it's sort of through time, and maybe with PT, like we have to because if you
can't arrive to a session and be like sad and depressed.
Which maybe I've done that as a default with being a PT so long. So I was gonna say like for yourself, because I wanted to lead it back into you and sort of close everything off like today. The fact that you said I'm an introvert, I found surprising. And I'd feel like we know each other quite well. But is that something that you definitely did like throughout your childhood and even with the eating disorder and things like that? Was it you think you put a mask on for like the outside world, but then the people that were really close to you were seeing something different or something not right at that time?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like we all do that. You know, that's like the face you show to like everyone, and then the face you show to like your close people, and actually your real you. But yeah, like I think the more like I get older, like I feel like I'm tired of putting a mask, so I'm just like gonna shop as myself, and actually like it's the best thing you can do for yourself, because then like the right people would stay, and then like the people who are not for you just gonna walk away. So you know, I feel like it's the best thing you can do for yourself. Yeah.
And then how do you sort of feel about, I want to ask two questions and then I'm going to shut up.
Yeah.
So two things is like, how do you feel about yourself today? And then also what would you say to like the younger Kat? Like what advice would you give her?
I think today I feel really content. Like I think that's like the first time of my life I say that like genuinely. Like yeah. And I've been getting in this habit like to I mean, it might sound silly to you, but like write like gratitudes every morning, you know,
Oh, my lame. Fail whale. Why is it silly to me?
I don't know.
I'm pretty like progressive, I think. Well, since I met Polly, but yeah, there's a sixth count of me mentioning her name. But yeah, go on. No, that's good. Do you do that is that like a daily or
I like
weekly?
to do it daily, like yeah, and I think like I'm rewiring my brain on like seeing like more positives in my life, and that's been like super helpful. And yeah, I think this is what makes me content. Like for example, when I go to bed at night, like I'm so excited for the next day to have my coffee, you know. So like, you know, I'm very content with the little things now. And
With the journaling, can I ask you one thing with the journal? I thought I was going to shut up, but with the journaling, the only thing I found, I've tried that and also meditation, but the only thing I found was I feel like sometimes you might be forcing it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not it's not like journaling. I'm just like, you know, I can write like 6 things I'm grateful for today. Like it's not like I'm gonna like, oh, today I feel no. Like, you know.
Today I've got a shit podcast with Maddie from the weekly upload.
So it's more like it does, if it's forced, it's not great. Like for me, I journal when I feel like really sad or anxious, but I'm not gonna journal. I never journal when I feel good. Like, you know. So yeah, I think you should not be forcing that.
Because I did try once, which was pretty good. Just doing one. See, you know how you said 6? When I was trying to do that, I just felt like I'll come up with anything that's like, I don't know, going to the footy or something. And I'm like,
it can be anything.
But I found it a bit easier when I did a thing where it was like just one thing, but it has to be something new. Because I could say Eva, my daughter, every day, and it's kind of like
my things. It's like it's every day is the same.
Oh, really?
Like almost. Maybe like one of those things changes, but like every
okay,
day,
and
like,
you still feel that's like a benefit to you. Okay,
yeah, definitely. And then like I also probably changed the way how I speak about myself. You know, like I try like to lift myself up, like, you know, like I try to talk to myself how I would talk to a friend. So you know how we tend like to really talk like negatively about like ourselves. So I stopped doing that as well, and I think it made like a massive change as well.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I mean that is big. Sort of just now you sort of know the why you're like you are the way you are, and then we spoke about this before the podcast. Like, did this feel like any sort, not therapy, but did it feel like anything, like letting things off your chest or like chatting today? Did it do anything?
Yeah, definitely. Like especially the part like you didn't know about myself, like about like my childhood and stuff like that. Like I don't think I talk about that much, and I don't think many people know that. And for a long time, I really struggled to talk about this. And like every time I would talk about that, I would like want to cry, you know. But didn't happen today. But yeah,
Damn it. No, where's that real? I said lately I've been on a real hot streak as well. I'm getting people to cry, but no, that's fine. It's good that you're comfortable to chat.
Yeah, definitely. And like to come back to your question, like about like what I would say to my younger self. I think I just want to say that everything is gonna be okay and like everything is temporary. That's like has been my motto lately. Like everything is temporary. So like when you feel depressed or like down or like it is temporary, and like same goes for like your happy moments. It is also temporary, so you should enjoy it to the fullest.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then lastly, just on the women's...
One more question.
Yeah. And there's 7 more questions. Now, lastly, I just wanted to... Because I did think about... I normally don't do this until the podcast's out, but I did think about when I was mentioning about like seeing Riley and things like that, the Riley J, the Instagram, because we're going to have Luana, and I want to make this a bit of a series. So thank you for being like the first to start off with. And I do want to say maybe me seeing her and my initial reaction of thinking she's big is a part of the problem. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
But I want to try to find like not alienate people and have a few different opinions on here, which is good too. But last, I promise. Last thing, Kat, like what would you say to, I guess, a young female going through like what you went through with the eating disorder or like anything like that? What advice would you give to them?
That's a hard question because like if I think about myself at that time, no matter what people say to me, I would just not listen. You know what I mean? Like and maybe like some stuff you need to go through to grow, to get better, like, you know. So I would say I would say what I said to my young self, like that everything is gonna be okay, and also maybe like not being scared of like reaching out for help, like, you know, not being scared to talk about things, like communicating. Like I think that's the first step, is to like put words on how you feel and what you're doing. Yeah.
I think that's a great way to end off. Thanks, Kat, for coming on.
Thank
Obviously,
you.
good to have you on. We've been good friends for a while now. So, and I thank you, as I always do with guests that are very open, and hopefully this podcast does do some good in the space of body positivity. And I know not many men cover this, so I wanted your perspective, and I think you've done really well.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.